Okay, we're gonna get rid of a few more of those darn myths, you see. I just saw one today. Unfortunately, it was, and this is an old, I'll stop there. This is an old Fletcher oil cutter. I'll use my shirt. Uh, what's going on here? The shape of the shank here has an angle and straight. They make the new Snitty Cutters. Basically has the same shape tip, okay? However, they have a screw. I believe it's on the bottom here. Oh no, the screw is down here. And what I've seen, won't mention, they say you gotta cut with the screw on the bottom. Okay, so I said, all right, let me look into that Snitty Cutter. I did look into it. I gotta go get one now because it's now become important to me to find out for sure. But looking at all the close diagrams, it's basically the same shape. I don't see any difference. You have a little wheel clearance here, this angle. What they're saying is to cut it like this. It gives some kind of bogus reply saying it's the angle has to be this and that. Made no sense. And what they were showing is pushing cutting, pushing away. And I didn't care about how it cut, but if you're pushing away and you run off this glass, that part of the shank's gonna chip your glass. Alright, so I don't care if the Snitty Cutter is the best cutter in the world. If you have to cut it like this, anybody who pushes the glass cutter, you don't even get it. Don't bother. Go get yourself a Toyo. But then I'm thinking, I said, well, turn it over. Put the screw on the top. Right? It gives you enough clearance. The wheel will still engage the glass, and then when you come off, you won't chip the glass. Makes sense, right? The other way, if the screw is on the bottom and you're cutting this way, as intended, most cutting is done with a drawer for sheet cutting and this and that. I mean, the Germans are pretty smart. They're not going to design something that doesn't work good. They probably I don't use one of these, but they probably designed it, to go this way. And when you come off, it clears the glass. You're not going to hit the glass. It'll work this way if you pull too. However, if you're going to push, and a lot of people do, I'd say 90%, you push, and just like a Toyo has a pretty center, so you can see that the wheel is centered on the shank here. So when you're pushing, come off the glass, it still has a chance of catching it, but not as much as a cutter with a large angle on the bottom, as demonstrated in one of those videos that drive me nuts, without any rhyme or reason, other than if you had a thumb thing here to cut this way, pushing it. Conveniently they show the cutting and they just stop there. They just stop. In the real world, everybody goes off. So my question was, again, flip it over. Cut that way and you won't have a problem. No, the screw goes on. I wish I had one to show you. The screw goes on the bottom of the cutter. End of story. No rhyme or reason, other than they tried to explain away this angles, and it made absolutely no sense. So I want to keep it in line, and it's gibberish, word salad. So again, if you're going to get a Schnitties, whatever, Schnibbersnitz, You're pushing, push away. Right? End of story. If you're going to draw, pulling this way, it doesn't matter. Because your cutter angle and glass is going to be fine. Well, here, cutting angle and glass, not so fine. Flip it over and cut, push cut. Alright, just wanted to show that. The style of an older hand cutter that I use is very similar, has a longer area. So again, if you're going to hold it like this and push, you're going to hit your glass. So people that want to use this cutter, because they see how I cut and they say, wow, it must be the cutter. I mean, yeah, somewhat, but these especially this Fletcher carbide, the Toyos, they have I think it's 138 degree wheel, a lot sharper than 128 that most of these standard carbide cutters are. I've seen a little higher, 132, 130, but nothing as high as the pointy the wheel as these newer cutters. That gives you a little advantage over very hard glass. A lot of stained glass is on the hard side. You want to go softer glass with the white in it. These newer cutters are just too sharp. So I do is I take an older cutter. It's carbide. I run the tip over a sharpening stone 10 times, not aggressively, just to get that carbide to dull out enough, just so when you cut, I'll show you how I cut. Cutter between the fingers, traditional ways like this, and cut. To me, you lose a lot of control of the cutter because you're only holding with 2 fingers. So if you're going to do sharp turns and run through divots, I mean, it's okay for long strip cutting. The correct way for production cutting, take the cutter, wrap your middle finger around it, thumb on the thumb spot, index finger up here. Now it gets a little bit more practice to get it right, but you want to get the cutter as close as to perpendicular as you want. This cutter I just pulled out of the shop. I don't even know if it's sharp. I know it was one of my duller cutters. So basically you want to come in, you check the wheel, see how you come off. You don't want to just stop near the end because you're never going to get a break. With a good cutter, this thing's like falling apart. You don't need running pliers and this and that. I suggest people get running pliers and breaking pliers because the chance something breaks wrong, it's not gonna be good. So I don't even know if this works. This is something my mom had from 40 years ago, 35. But typically, in a pencil cutter, you keep that part of the blade up when you're pushing, because again, when you come up, I'm gonna go right out, see if this works. And a lot of people like to put the thumb here, like to hold like that, but typically it's like that. If you hold it like this and you like that, but it's all pretty much the same. This style of cutting, the easiest way for a beginner to learn, instead of choking all the way up here, which you can, get it around here and the thumb in the back. And my mom cut like that. She actually did pretty good. I'm going to try. I'm not a pusher, so don't laugh at me. See how you get stuck in the... it's horrible. Well, you push. Learn to cut glass. Now here, they say turn it around, which makes sense because you're coming off this side of the glass. You want to have it close enough to the edge you can just snap it. Here, if I was going to use this, I'd hold it like my other cutter and just get in here and feels a little dull to me, but anyway, that's that. Here's a real old one. Pistol grip, you know, like I said, it has the wheel centered, so push or pull, it's not going to have any problem with you. Excuse me. And again, you get the new Snitty Cutters, little screw on it. Bad advice. Take that screw, flip it over if you're going to push. If you're going to pull, it really doesn't matter. Actually, you want it like this too, because you have better clearance. You have to worry about that part of the cutter hitting the glass. Say you're coming down, you want to get a little aggressive. It's complete nonsense. Yeah, you can cut like this. You can cut like that, but for template cutting, where you gotta watch what you do, flip it over. I mean, I'm a listener, so you got a reason why it's not done that way. Tell me, other than just saying, well, some bogus reason about the angle of the. I mean, come on, that ain't cutting it. You know, Snitty, what is Silver Schnitz? They got their name on the side, so it's reading right side up, like this. You know, where you got the Toyos. They read like that, and the screws on the top. I never really understood why they swivel like that, but they do. That's a whole other video. But again, see somebody telling you to cut like that with the screw down? Come back to my video and I'll explain why. Alright, so anyway, we're done with that. I just want to show you, everybody talks about, you know, using those little chippers and you gotta line it up. No. And you know, they demonstrate on big strips with strip cutters and breakers and all that. This is actually very hard glass to cut. It's an opaque Kokomo. I'll show you. No oil. There's a spit on it. No oil. I'm right in here. And this cut is not even a sharp cutter. Not that here you can snap it like that, or what we do in the studio production. Whoops. Wasn't supposed to break like that, but we grab and we snap it like that. I was actually rushing it here, but that's how you don't have to drop the cutter, you know, put it down, pick up the tool, put it back down. It wastes a lot of time. You want to cut it, get it done with. Again, well, this is tough Kokomo, boy, I'll tell you. Again, you just want to, I wish the cutter would stop, Oh! I gotta watch that left. This is not a cutting table. Just for my video. But yeah, if you want to learn how to cut good, control. When I hold the cutter like this, all those little bumps. I mean, I got a grip on that thing. You can't pull this cutter out of my hand. I go through the bumps and the divots and the lines and the skips. I burn right through it. You see these people cutting like this. You get to a little spot. You know, you know, if that's the way you gotta cut, so be it. You'll get your job done. You know, I don't give lessons on it. Here's your lesson, right there, between this fingers, middle finger, thumb, index finger. Cut like that. When I come off the glass, have a regular cutting table. I know probably get a lot of chuckles about that. But there's no, you're not gonna whack the edge of the glass. And one last time, cutting with one of these style cutters, you're pushing. For pulling, it doesn't matter. Pushing, put this side up. That's where that screw is. You know, and that's it. That's all I had to say for that. Just another one of the crazy myths, not myths, bad advice. Bad advice. So on that, I'll let you go, and if you would subscribe, like, put your thumbs down, man. Tell me, that was a bad video. They don't know what you're talking about. Now, I'm in, man. Say it, do it. Thumbs up, you like it? You know, if I helped you out, thumbs up. And, you know, give a little comment. I'd love to hear from you. I mean, I did do YouTube many years ago, and when I first started YouTubing years and years ago, there wasn't all this crazy bad advice out there. It just compelled me to get up, get my camera and do stuff, because I mean, the longer bad advice festering about how to use a cutter the wrong way, you know, the longer it's just going to get entangled in people's false beliefs, and if they're never shown the correct way, it's going to be considered, you know, gospel. I mean, no, you don't cut with that screw down. And if I ask why, you better give me a good reason, because if you ask me why I do something a certain way in my video, you better believe it. I'm going to tell you why. I'm not going to beat you up with why. I'm just going to say this is why. You know, you can make your decision, but I could back up everything I do and say, and I welcome any kind of criticism, constructive or not. I mean, hit me, go for it. All right. On that, I'll let you go. Please subscribe. There'll be a lot more of this coming. There's a lot of bad advice out there, and no, I'm not the bad advice police. I really do feel compelled to, you know, to fix it. You know, call them out. All right. Please down below. I don't know, where is it? Down below, up, subscribe, like, whatever, and you can visit me on Facebook. I'll be posting there soon, so you can chat about this too. With that, take care. Have a nice day.